Domestic and international observers have reacted to yesterday's elections in Kogi and in Bayelsa states. Though voting has ended, observers say that cases of violence, vote buying and ballot box snatching negatively affected the electoral process. Winners have not been declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission, but citizens are calling for a declaration to end electoral violence. Did voter turnout increase during yesterday's governorship election? What should INEC do to rebuild citizens' confidence in the electoral process? And is there a way to guarantee the results reflect the will of the people? The man with the answers, Babajide Ogusawo, Channels TV's data consultant, is here with us tonight.
I hope we'll have enough time
with a crystal ball.
And I also hope we'll have enough time tonight.
Okay, so some of the results have been released, as you well know. Bayelsa is still ongoing. Kogi has been postponed till tomorrow morning. What does the data say about the turnout of voters? I know that's where your interest is.
You know, perhaps before we look at the data on the turnout of voters, perhaps the number one question Nigerians are asking is, how many Nigerian governors have lost re-election since 1999? And I'll share the facts with you, and I think it will surprise you. But before then, I want to quickly correct some myths about Nigeria. 3 decades ago, the myth was that Nigeria's greatest asset was oil. Today, it is a different story. People talk about the 201 million Nigerians are our greatest asset. But what does the facts really show? The fact shows that our greatest asset is our reputation. Amarachi, what do I mean? Let me ask you a question. When you think of a tortoise, what comes to your mind?
Oh, a slow animal. I
Slow.
guess.
When you think of a lion, what comes to your mind?
King of the jungle, power, ego.
And quickly, when you think of the devil, what comes to your mind?
Oh, evil, of course.
In other words, one word, reputation, the reputation of the tortoise, the reputation of the lion, the reputation of the devil. Now, what does this have to do with INEC? INEC really has 3 functions, but over time we focused on one. And what is that function? Announcing results. There are 2 other functions INEC needs to focus on, and they are capable of doing. The first is building Nigeria's global perception. That is something they can do. Alternatively, by announcing results or the electoral process, we can destroy Nigeria's global perception. And so our electoral process really is about building our reputation. And so the evidence shows that INEC since 1999 has conducted over 200 governorship elections. What do I mean? INEC must now throw away the keys to the door of excuses. Now, let's look at the insights from the March 2009 elections, and let's look at what it tells us about the results that are coming out. And if we look at the insights from the elections, governorship elections earlier this year, especially in the North Central and the South South, where we have these 2 governorship elections, what you notice is in March, the APC won all of those states that had governorship elections, excluding Benue State. And in the South-South, if you look carefully at that, you see that all those returning governors in the South-South won their elections. So it will be interesting to see if these patterns do continue or not. But again, remember in Bayelsa State, there's a new candidate, and the results may not follow what had happened in March.
So I figure you're seeing patterns in the way people voted and in the way the elections have gone. And you should also talk about women participation in these elections.
You know, talking about patterns, I started with how many Nigerian governors have lost their re-election. And the evidence shows that since 1999, only 22 governors have lost re-election whenever their names came out on INEC's ballot. In other words, the chance of a governor being returned during the election is 78%. And so Kogi results, we'll want to find out if those patterns will continue or not. But speaking about women participation in this election between Kogi and Bayelsa State, the evidence from INEC shows we have 70 candidates, but only 5 of them were women. So clearly there's a need to encourage more women to participate. Women are qualified to conduct elections. But in the final analysis, this election really is about Nigeria's reputation. Again, in the words of Harvey Mackay, popular businessman, he says that a good reputation can't be bought. You must earn a good reputation. So the results should not just be about announcing the winners. Results should be about INEC focusing on what sort of reputation did yesterday's election give Nigerians.
Food for thought, Babajide. Thank you again for joining us on the news at 10. Enjoy your analysis as always.
The pleasure is always mine.
The clashes that have frequently occurred between herders and farmers in various parts of the country are the result of over-politicization of issues and a lack of understanding of the task required to tackle them. That's according to the chairman of the Northern Elders Forum, Professor Ango Abdullahi. Professor Abdullahi, also a former Minister of Education, told Channel Television's Ladia Keridulale on our current affairs program, Newsnight, that the issues need to be addressed holistically with all sides involved in implementing ideal solution.
This disharmony, so-called disharmony between herdsmen and farmers is a political fabrication, unfortunately. And it is used as a platform for political discourse. And you have just alluded to the fact that, yes, we have so many ethnic groups in the country, and we have been debating the national question and so on all over the years. And all this is a reflection that there is no cohesive national position in terms of the future of the country. But all the discussions that we have been going through are largely around fault lines of tribe, of religion, of geography, and so on. The new brand politics, where politicians always strive to win elections, they use all sorts of fallback positions. They use all these fault lines to Nigerian disadvantage.
You can watch the full interview with Professor Ango Abdullahi on Newsnight. It airs right here on Channels Television on Monday, November 18th at 9 p.m. Join us then. 2 lecturers of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria and Kaduna Polytechnic, abducted by gunmen in Kaduna State, have regained their freedom after spending 6 days in the hands of their captors. The lecturers, identified as Adamu Chinoko and Umar Chinoko, both brothers from Kebbi State, were abducted by gunmen on November 11th at Mahuta area in Igabi local government area of the state. Confirming their release, the State Police Command spokesperson, Mr. Yakubu Sabo, says the victims escaped from their captors today. Dr. Adamu Chinoko was kidnapped first by the gunmen, who later demanded a 2 million naira ransom and a motorcycle. His brother, Dr. Umar Chinoko, who went to deliver the ransom, was later detained by the bandits, who demanded for 5 million naira for their release. The police spokesman, however, says the police operatives are still trailing the kidnappers to arrest and prosecute them. Meanwhile, 2 persons have been killed with a police officer injured by armed bandits in an attack in Kofra Kudu community of Keita local government area in Katsina State. According to the police public relations officer, Mr. Gambo Isa, the armed bandits in their numbers stormed the residence of one Seadu Dan Bagalo, shooting sporadically, abducted him, and injured 3 persons, including a police officer. Mr. Isa explained that the police patrol team attached to the Keita division responded to the scene and gave the hoodlums a hot chase into the bush, and in the process killed the victim and one 58-year-old man called Bawale Inusa, and escaped through the bush path. The police spokesperson says investigation is ongoing. Police detectives are currently combing the scene and surrounding areas to find and arrest the perpetrators. Staying with crime and criminality, members of a notorious gang known as Sarasuka in Plateau State are undergoing a rehabilitation program following a renouncement of their membership of the group. The program, organized by Operation Safe Haven at the Leadership and Training Center, JOS, aims to engage the youths in skills acquisition in different vocations.
No fewer than 60 youths of Jos North local government area of Plateau State, North Central Nigeria, are currently undergoing rehabilitation at the Leadership and Training Center in Jos after renouncing their membership of the notorious Sarasuka gang. The group is said to be a terror to residents of Jos metropolis and environs through gangsterism, cultism, and drug abuse, among other social vices that has left many injured and properties destroyed, especially vehicles and tricycles during their operation. Beneficiaries of the rehabilitation gesture are urged to renew their minds by imbibing the virtues acquired during the training and become useful citizens to the society.
We'll take security awareness lectures where representatives from some of our security agencies like the Nigerian Police Command, the Civil Defense Command, the NDLEA, and also road safety, they will be coming to give you some security tidbits for you to realize that, one, you are all human beings and you must be able to live like human beings that you are. The essence of it all is to make sure that you do not go back to what must have pulled you out of your homes, and then you do not allow the push and pull factor of the society to drag you backward.
Management of Jos North local government area, where majority of the members operate, expressed willingness to partner with security operatives in discouraging youths from engaging in vices that threaten the security of the area.
Most of the youths, we made up about 60-75% of the total workforce in every nation. So once these youths are not productive, we are actually in dilemma. So rehabilitation and putting them off drugs and off the streets by committing them, rehabilitating them, are also providing a skill acquisition so that they could be engaged, so that they could become useful to the society. Plateau State and Nigeria in general, it is welcome issues. Even in the local authority at the council, we are taking some initiatives to key into this program to see how we can take this youth off-road, because we made to understand that we can filter them.
The beneficiaries are engaged in community leadership training, skill acquisition training, and security awareness training, amongst others.
Christmas is still over a month away, but at Zenith Bank, one of Nigeria's top financial institutions, celebration can begin right away. A bank over the weekend treated its staff and customers with a spectacle of lights and beautiful Christmas decorations at the annual Christmas light-up ceremony in Lagos. The occasion, which held on Ajose Adogun Street in Victoria Island, where the bank's headquarters is domiciled, attracted several people who all wanted to catch a glimpse of the first Christmas lights in the city.
It has become an annual ritual. Sparkles and beautiful rays of light beaming from thousands of bulbs ran through the dark skylines of Ajose Adogun Street and its environs in Victoria Island. Employees of Zenith Bank and their families, as well as guests, revel in the beauty of these decorations, which have become the perfect picture spot for selfies and bonding.
Well, I'm excited because it's Zenith, but we're actually performing. This is actually a giveaway for Christmas, so it's wonderful. Since I joined Zenith, I've been coming, and it's been awesome. It's a blessing to everyone because this is a giveaway for everybody.
Even children are not left out of the fun as they ride on powered reindeer-drawn sleigh. For Zenith Bank, it's all about touching lives.
We expect that this will bring a lot more happiness for people. It will give people hope. You know that at the beginning of the year, towards the end of the year, you are looking forward to Zenith Christmas decoration, something exciting, something encouraging. So in a way, we are trying to promote hope, promote happiness.
You know, sometimes look at the year, it's been difficult, but as you approach December, the season starts to change. Everybody is excited and happy. So we're very proud to be part of this, where we are the first company or bank to light up the city. What we're doing is that we're introducing in the new season of celebration.
According to Zenith Bank, the light-up ceremony is one of several activities earmarked for the Yuletide. It will be on through the festive season, providing a one-stop dazzling attraction for fun seekers and road users.